Hello and welcome everyone to Operation Blackhawk, your everyday blueprint to scaling your info product and e-commerce brand. I'm your host Luke Simmons and I am the proud COO of Scope Marketing, and I have to say guys, I am truly excited for this episode. We're really going to be dropping some incredibly insightful information about writing a good copy versus an expert copy. So it's going to be a really short but sweet episode, so I hope that you enjoy it just as much as I enjoy talking about it. So first things first, what is the difference that it can actually make to have written a good copy for your ad compared to an expert copy? Well, we're going to break it down for you and show you just how much of a difference it can really make. So for this example, let's just say both an expert copy and a good copy are getting the same CPM of $20. Now, the CPM translates to the cost of showing your ad to 1,000 people. Therefore, within this example, it means it's costing you 2 cents per person, which is also known as an impression. Now, where the ad copy really has a huge impact and starts to differ is with the CTR, which is also known as the click-through rate, and this refers to the percentage of people who actually click on your ad. So let's just say someone who writes a good copy receives a CTR, a click-through rate of 1%, and yet that translates to meaning 1 out of 100 people will click on the ad. Now, for the expert copy in comparison, let's just say for the sake of the example, we'll keep it conservative and say it actually receives a CTR of 1.5%. And this means that 1 out of 66 people in comparison are seeing the ad and clicking on it. Now, we can take it a bit further, and this is going to allow us to actually calculate the cost per click. So to do this, we know that it costs 2 cents per impression or person to actually see the advert. So now we need to multiply that amount by the amount of times that someone's actually going to have to see the advert in order to receive 1 click. So for the good copy, this is going to require 100 impressions or 100 people to actually see the advert to receive 1 click. So 100 times 2 cents is going to equal a cost per click of $2. Now, if you compare that to the expert copy, the cost per click is actually going to be considerably lower at $1.32. Now, at this stage, you can already start to see just how the smallest of differences in click-through rate can really have an impact on the cost of your entire paid advertising campaign overall. Now, as we continue and dive into the really important figures, let's say in this example that the conversion rate for both ad copies is exactly the same at 2%. This can be thought of as, 1 person out of 50 people will actually convert and purchase your product or products. Now, this brings us to the final and considerably, the most important figure, and that is the cost per acquisition. So for the good copy, this would simply be the cost per click of $2 multiplied by 50 people, which would result in $100. Now, if we compare this to the expert copy, you can see that the actual cost per acquisition is going to be $1.32 multiplied by 50 people again, and that's going to actually result in a cost per acquisition of $66, which is obviously a pretty large difference of $34 there. Now, let's just see how this would affect your brand and cost and the expenses that you're going to have over time. So based on the previous figures, it would mean you would net 33% more if you had your copy written by a true expert copywriter compared to just having what you could consider a good copy. But let's just see what this would mean if you sold just 1,000 orders with the difference in cost per acquisition. So with a CPA, a cost per acquisition of $100, this would cost $100,000 per 1,000 orders that you made. Now, if we compare this to the expert copy, the cost per acquisition of $66 for 1,000 orders would equate to $66,000 in ad spend. So this is going to clearly see, and as you can see from the screen in front of you right now, that per 1,000 orders, based on the example that we've given you here in this video, you would be saving around $33,000 per 1,000 orders that you sold. So just imagine, that once you start selling above 1,000 orders and 10,000, you reach $100,000. We are talking about serious money from something that, a lot of companies, a lot of e-commerce stores in general overlooked considerably, and that is the ad copy. And the last thing I wanted to add as well is that not only will new customers or potential customers love your copy, but so will Facebook. And what I mean by that is that if Facebook can start to see from statistics that your ad is receiving high engagement, great feedback and amazing results, which is obviously what we try and aim. We want to make Facebook our best friend at the end of the day, because if they're your best friend, they're going to help you out. And why they do that is because your ads is proving to them that people are engaging with it really, really well, and for that reason they're going to be willing to show it to an even larger audience, and they're going to start doing it at a much lower cost as well. So it means that your whole entire campaign can start to become even more efficient, and that is going to really come back to the fact that you're going to have a copy which is written by an expert compared to just writing a good copy yourself or from other marketing agencies. Now, next week we're going to actually break down and show you the elements that are necessary to create that expert copy, so that you can really start to actually work on something yourself that's going to make these really slight changes, but in the bigger picture, in the overall paid advertising that you're doing, you're going to notice a massive difference. So I just wanted to say thank you for listening to this short but sweet Operation Black Hawk podcast, and we hope that you can tune in weekly to help scale your e-commerce and info product brand. If you could just do us a favor, please like and subscribe and share this with friends and business associates as well, so that they can use this information too. Just wanted to say thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll see you next time.